Hello and welcome to the Profitable Coach Podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Rich, and as the founder of the Bold Life Movement and a fellow coach for more than 7 years, I know the challenges that many of you face when launching or growing your coaching business. And I'm here to pull back the curtain on the coaching industry and help you overcome roadblocks to make the impact you were born to make. Each week, I'll be interviewing successful coaches from every corner of the industry to share exactly how they have managed to generate massive impact and income. From strategy to psychology, we cover it all. This show is presented to you by Transformation Academy, a global marketplace of courses and coaching certifications. So whether you are already part of our epic community or you're brand new to this show, if you're ready to learn what it takes to turn your passion for service into a profitable business, then keep listening. You are in the right place. Hello, coaches, and welcome back to the Profitable Coach Podcast. Today, I have the founder of Truth Speaks Coaching, a nonprofit creator, Miss Marla Albertie, with me. And Marla is super special because she brings her unique flavor, her unique authenticity to everything that she does. And you're going to feel it in today's episode as we talk about how to always be marketing even when you're not. We talk about some of the pitfalls that coaches face when they decide to become entrepreneurs. And we talk about things that you should embrace before beginning your coaching journey. I won't steal the show. I'll go ahead and let Marla tell you for herself. So without further ado, please welcome the one and only Marla Albertie. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Profitable Coach Podcast. I have with me today the wonderful Marla Albertie. Welcome, Marla.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Kim. Happy to be here.
Thank you so much. So I'm really excited because we were connected through the Transformation Academy community. And I'm here as an advocate for that community. I'm here as an advocate for the idea that if anyone is interested in becoming a coach, we have the resources and we have the know-how to support them in doing that. So will you share with us a little bit of background on what it was that led you to choose coaching and how you are connected to the TA family?
Oh gosh, such a great question. So let's start with the TA family question. So
Love it.
How I found it, Facebook brings the algorithm just shows you stuff that you just have to buy.
Yeah.
So you need it, right? So I was doing my normal scroll on Facebook, and it I guess they had an ad for Transformation Academy, and I said, "Oh, this sounds interesting." And there was a sale going on, I think, for like another life coach certification. Like I need another one. I had already had a certification, but me being the learning junkie that I am, I said, "Oh, let me just check it out." So I clicked on it, read through a lot of the reviews, went out to the website. You got to do your research.
Of course.
I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are awesome. Natalie and Joel they're just beautiful people. So I signed up, got into the Facebook group, and did some messaging back and forth. I guess with whoever, maybe the admin, and that's how it started, really. And I went through and I did their full blown master life coaching course. So I had that certification on top of my other certification. My original certification came from World Coach Institute, based down in, I believe they're in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, which they're also affiliated with ICF. So yeah, that's how I found TA, and they've just been phenomenal. So from there, I still pay the monthly fee. It's like $19 a month to take their courses. It's amazing. I love it. I still, obviously I read the magazine. I'm also a contributor to the magazine. I write monthly to the TA magazine. So super excited about that.
Amazing. So will you share real quick how you became a contributor for anyone who's listening and they're thinking, oh, I want to be able to do that?
Yeah. So how did you know what? I think I just emailed. I think I sent an email.
Amazing.
I'm one of those ones that's kind of bold. I just,
yes.
My thing is, what are you going to say? You can say yes or no. It's not going to kill me, so I think I just sent an email saying I would love to contribute. How do you go about it? Just like I did for the podcast. I said, how do I get on the podcast?
Yes. Marla is speaking my language right now. If you're not familiar, my original coaching background is called the Bold Life Movement. That's my personal coaching business. I gave a TEDx talk about 5 years ago, and I said, the answer is always no until you ask. So I love this bold move, Marla.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think I literally just sent an email. They responded back, yeah, you can contribute. And so I wrote the article, and sent it. And let me tell you, here's a funny story that I was sitting in the airport, waiting in the little airport lounge. I was sitting in the airport when I wrote that first article to for the magazine. I said, I'm just gonna take a chance. I had like a 2-hour layover at that time, so I wrote the article and sent it. I've been writing ever since. And so the same thing with the coaching with the podcast. I just sent an email, said, hey, I want to, how did I get on here?
Yes. So if you're listening and you are a profitable coach and you want to be featured on this show, send us an email, Kimberly@transformationacademy.com. Let's hear from you.
Yes.
So, great plug for TA. Love it. Marla, tell us what made you decide to be a coach.
Yeah, so on to that question. Okay, trying to make this a long segment here, but so I started out. So I'm a education junkie. I love education. So when I got my associate's degree back then, believe it or not, I had to do an actual internship. So I did an internship.
I remember those.
I had to do an internship for my associate's degree. Go figure. So I did an internship in human resources. I was working full time. I've always worked full time alongside having my businesses. Mm-hmm. And I did my internship in human resources, and I was in recruiting. So first time being in recruiting, first time looking at resumes, first time understanding all this stuff. So this was 2000. I don't know. It had to be 2003, 4 up in that time frame. And so I'm like, oh wow, this is interesting. So I started learning the ins and outs of recruiting and learning ins and outs of looking at resumes and what organizations and businesses are looking for when they hire. So fast forward, that led me to start doing resumes. Then I said, you know what, maybe I should start getting paid to do this. So I developed a business, and that was actually my first offering in my coaching business was resumes. Then I said, wait a minute. People started asking me for career advice. So as I finished their resume, they were starting to ask me, and I knew the answers. So I said, okay, well, maybe let me look into coaching, because again, me being a researcher, yes, you and I both know, Kim, coaching is a non-regulated field, meaning that no one owns this field, not even ICF. ICF is the most highest rate. They're known, but they don't own coaching. You can go to BurgerKing.com and say you're the best burger person, and you can be a burger coach. Doesn't matter, right? So it doesn't matter. So, but I, being the researcher that I am, I wanted to understand the science and philosophy and the psychology of coaching. And to me, for my opinion, the only way to understand that is to take some type of class, some type of certification, something, Transformation Academy, do something instead of just leaning on my own experience, because my own experience may or may not help everyone. But if I understand the psychology and the science behind what I'm teaching someone or coaching someone, that's better. So I went to WCI, World Coach Institute. I did it online, a very rigorous, I think it was like 12, no, was it 6 months? Or was it a year? It was a long time. No, it was a year. It was a year-long program. Yeah, it was a year-long program. And we had to coach each other, and I got my certification. I got my life coach, career coach certifications from both of them from there. Then I went on further, got an executive coach, and then kept going. And so that's started the coaching piece of it. So my business turned 10 years old this year, April 1st. So I'm over 10 years old. And I was told by some skeptics, coaching, you're starting a coaching business, you won't last that long. Well, here I am 10 years later. And I just recently took the full-time leap into entrepreneurship full-time. So I'm no longer working the 9 to 5. So I'm figuring all that out too. So that's awesome as well. So I've been doing coaching for a long time. Don't ask me how many people I've coached. I have lost count. If I had to guess, it's probably over 400. I've had to guess. Yeah.
So when it comes to career coaching, executive coaching, are you primarily working one-on-one? Or are you being brought into offices to help with different teams? What model are you pursuing, and which model do you prefer?
Yeah, great question. So I've done both, and I currently do both. However, what I prefer is what I'm going to leak a secret. I'm actually working on a subscription-based program that I'm going to be launching in January of next year. So I'd rather get to that. So I'm going to kind of move away from the one-on-one. You can still hire me currently now. You can still hire me for one-on-one. And I still, and I have, and still will go into organizations, corporations. I do my IO consulting, which is industrial organizational psychology coaching, which is what I'm in school with my PhD for, which is the study of human behavior in the workplace. So I do a lot of IO consulting mixed with the coaching for businesses. But for one-on-one, I'm still doing one-on-one sessions with folks.
Yeah.
But once I move into that membership, I would like to move everyone to the membership. Now,
cool.
Here's the caveat. If you want to still coach with me, my price is going to be a one set price. So it's best to get into the membership, because in the membership, you have a little bit more access to me. That'd be easier for me and my time, especially because I have a nonprofit. So that'd be easier for me. But if you want one-on-one time with me, you just got to pay the price, which anybody else would. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I want to highlight this, like when you have been in business for a number of years, you get the privilege to, I mean, really at any point in the game, you can be redesigning your business so that it suits your lifestyle. But this is sort of like a privilege that you earn by putting in the blood, sweat, and tears, the legwork that it takes to run a business for 10 years to say, hey, my time is valuable now. If you want to work with me one-on-one, it's going to cost you more. And here's another model that is better suited for both of us. Yeah. So I want to go back to the executive coaching for a little bit, because I meet a lot of people in the TA community, a lot of new coaches who really want to do executive coaching or corporate coaching. Yeah. They want to go into businesses, and they're struggling to get in touch with the decision makers and actually get contracts. So what have been some of the most valuable ways that you have, gotten clients and through that method?
Yeah. So outside of word of mouth, what has been really good is, are you out there? So number one, are you on Yelp? Are you on Google, your Google business profile? You'll be amazed. Your Google business profile and those Google reviews, people read them. People read them. So do businesses. And so you have to ask yourself, what does your Google profile look like? Does it have to be perfect? Are you out there on Yelp? How can people find you? Are you active on LinkedIn? LinkedIn is the number one place if you want to go into businesses. You kind of need to have I have my personal account as well as my True Speaks account. Right. So you kind of need to have both accounts, and be active on LinkedIn. Now, am I a LinkedIn guru? No, I'm actually in the process of taking a LinkedIn course. I'm not a LinkedIn guru, but I am pretty active on LinkedIn. I'm posting stuff. I have quotes going every single day on LinkedIn, Instagram, and eventually it doesn't happen. And they will tell you, Kevin Hart said it himself, overnight success takes about 10 years, right? So keep going. Someone will reach out to you. Someone will find you. And guess what? You can also reach out to people. I love smaller organizations that are maybe like 1,000 or less. Going into there, because their leadership they don't have a huge leadership structure. It's not like a major bank or anything like that. Major banks, you got to go through, supply chain.
The red tape.
You got to go through the red tape. So I kind of shy away from those because it just takes a lot. Now, if you are like myself, I'm a veteran. So if you are a veteran, then you can kind of go through getting your corporate contract stuff done through the military, through the feds. And so that's a different ballpark. Now I'm actually working on that actually. That takes time to get done. But the only reason I said military is because there's programs for, like example, I'm a women owned, I'm veteran owned, disabled veteran owned, minority owned. So you do want to get some of these certifications. So number one, are you on Google? Number two, are you on Yelp? Are you out there on the internet? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you building up your profile to where you have some type of capability statement that says what you're doing? Like what are you coaching on? If these contracts, especially these big government contracts, something I'm working on as well. If they want to come after you, they need to see that you've been in business. They need to see that you're bringing in money. So if you're not there yet, then start small. Start with the local. Go to the lowlies. I'm pretty sure. Okay. I'm almost pretty sure you're near some type of mom and pop place, right? And mom and pop restaurants or places have employees. Maybe they have 10 employees. Who says those employees don't need coaching? Go offer a free professional development workshop. Offer it for free. I probably 9 out of 10 times guarantee they'll call you back. Go pass out your flyer. Do you have flyers? They say business cards are played out. I don't think so. I keep my business cards. The ones that mean something to me, I keep them. Now, I don't keep all of them. I will say that. I don't keep all of them. But the ones that I made a connection with, I keep them. And I put their number in my phone and I reach out. Do you have a flyer? People like visual. People like something in their hand. So I like to pass out the flyer, pass out something. So those are some really, really big, huge tips that have helped me and continue to help me, honestly. Matter of fact, when I go through, let me tell you, you have to be as hyper as me, right? But I go through the drive-through. I give out my business cards, and I also give out these little cute fun cards that says, you know, they have encouraging words on the back of them, and they flip it over. One time I went through the drive-through at Starbucks, and I gave her my business card. I also gave her one of the little motivational cards. She said, Marla, she said, oh my God, I needed this today. I'm going to pass your information on my manager. You know, you just don't know whose life you're going to impact. So everyone, I learned this through Stacy Beeman. She's a wonderful coach out there in the coaching world. She said, everyone is a client. Everyone can be a customer. Everyone. So you have to look at it that way. I go through the Publix line here in Jacksonville. We have Publix is one of our major stores, supermarkets. I pass out cards there. You know, if they don't want it, they don't want it. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's such a beautiful point. Like a recent interview that I did, Juan Bandana said, if you are not putting yourself out there, if you are not making the offer that you have, if you know you have something valuable to give the world, then you're being selfish. And so, like you said, you just show up authentically wherever you go and let people know what it is that you have to give. And if they don't want it, or it's not appropriate, or, you know, the right time, it's not personal.
Exactly. It's never a no, right? It's never a no. It's not right now. It's okay. It's never a no. It's not right now. I've had people who have reached out to me years ago, call me back years later. Marla, I remember you from this conference. I remember you from this. I remember you from that. You were this, you were that. Just yesterday, I promise, yesterday. This is why you treat people. This is why you treat people a certain way. This is why you treat people good. I ran into a doctor I used to have. We were at a store. I'm like, oh my God, you used to be my doctor like 10, 15 years ago. I remember her. And she was so nice and so sweet, you know, but if she would have been nasty, I would have like, you are not a good doctor. And I would have told everybody. But I told so many people about her when she was my doctor. And now her husband have their own private practice, you know? So again, people remember how you treated them. Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm perfect. You know, we all have issues. We all get upset. We all, you know, but people remember that, you know, totally. And I've had so many people come back to me. Oh, Marla, I remember you from this. Oh, I met you here. And I always say, just remind me, tell me how I met you. Yeah. Well, and it's to the point that people don't really care about what you do. They remember how you make them feel. There you go. Focus on how do they want to feel and show up in a way that helps them feel that way. Yep. Yeah. That's beautiful. That's it. So in terms of the evolution that someone must go through as a coach, I'm hearing that you've been through a handful of trainings. How have you transformed, whether it was through the trainings or just through the practice of being an entrepreneur? How have you transformed by being a coach? Oh my gosh, Kim, do we have 15 more hours? Look, I mean, this entrepreneurial journey, whether you're working a full-time job alongside or not, anyone will tell you, I'm sure you're shaking your head already. It is a journey. And if you're not ready to put in the work, I wouldn't recommend it. It is taxing. It is hard. It is difficult. It is mentally challenging. But let me tell you what tops all of that. The icing on all that nasty cake I just baked, the icing on that cake to make it really good it's challenging, it's toxic, it's hard, it's bad for you. It's all for you. It's for your dream. So you have to ask yourself, what do you believe in? This is where a lot of entrepreneurs struggle at, because people just want to own a business. Okay, well, great. Nothing wrong with running a business, but I need you to be passionate. I need you to kind of like the business. I need you to be passionate about the business. You know, don't start a school if you don't like kids. Yeah. Makes no sense. You know, don't start a coaching business if you don't like people. Don't be a leader. I talk about this all the time when I do leadership podcasts. Don't be a leader if you don't like people, if you want anybody to follow you. Because you're not a leader unless anybody's following you. Right. So you got to kind of find your niche and find your passion as to what it is you like and what it is you love. And that's what's going to keep you going. Because when you get tired, when you get exhausted, when you're mentally drained, it's that passion that's going to keep you moving forward. That's going to keep you burning. And let me tell you, I have gone through so many programs. I'm enrolled in programs. I'm a program career development professional junkie. I have it all. It's a coping mechanism as well. I do it all the time. But one thing I've learned, so I'll talk about this one program. I'm recently just exiting a program, Ben Hardy, Dr. Benjamin Hardy. He's also an IO psychologist as well. And he speaks about that future self. He has a book out there, 10X is better than 2X. Be your future self now. Personality isn't permanent. Who, not how. That's 4 books I just mentioned. And those 4 books that change your life. But you got to think about who is that person you want to be. And I constantly do this. I have 15 journals around me. I'm writing all the time. I'm constantly asking myself that question. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do when you grow up? Because the Marla today is not going to be the Marla tomorrow. The Marla tomorrow is not going to be the same Marla next year. Right. So the same Kim right now in 2023 is not going to be the same Kim in 2024. And so you have to continue to evolve. And one thing I always preach, teach, and coach is self-awareness. It's the first key to emotional intelligence. If you're not self-aware of what you want as an entrepreneur, you're not going, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to be negative. You're not going to make it. You have to be grounded and know this is what I want to do. Don't do it just because you want to escape the 9 to 5. There's a lot of books out there that say escape the 9 to 5. Okay. We all want to escape the 9 to 5. I did. I understand. But something has to be bigger than that. Has to be bigger. I'm in school for IO psychology because I really, really like and understand and want to understand more the behavior of human behavior in the workplace. Why do people behave the way they do? It's interesting to me. Like I get excited about it. I mean, my God, I have the list on my wall back here. That's how exciting it is to me. What excites you about your business? Because guess what? When book sales aren't coming in, when clients aren't coming in, what's going to excite you? When you go to an event and you sold one towel, that you have a towel and you sold one towel and you sell anything else, what's going to keep you going that night? When you go to a speaking event, and they clap, they love you, but they don't buy any of your books. What's going to keep you going? What's going to keep you going? And guess what? Let's flip it. What's going to keep you going when you do go to a speaking event and they sell out all your books? What's going to keep you going? Oh, wow, I'm on top of the world now. I've done it. You haven't arrived. You never arrive. You never, ever arrive. You keep going. I love that. You celebrate. I remember Steve Harvey saying this. He said, I take the time and I celebrate. I do. He says, but I don't stay there long because I got to keep going. And that's true. That's my motivational phrase. Keep it moving. Wherever the it is, keep going. Keep going. Everyone has an it. So I celebrate my small wins. I'm big on that because I believe the brain, you need that. Research has been done on that. But sometimes we get stuck. This has been proven in lottery winnings, right? You're saying you're the same person. Right. So if you're not celebrating, you're not celebrating. So you got to take that celebration, grasp hold of it, marinate in a minute, but then keep going, keep moving forward.
Keep the vision alive.
I said a lot there, but that was a lot.
So I'm really curious, what is it that you wish you had known when you first started your business and when you first started coaching people, working with people in this way?
The marketing piece, the marketing is hard because you got to sell yourself. People always say, I hate selling. Well, don't go into business then.
You got to love marketing it as much as you love whatever it is.
Some people talk about it. I'm going to be a coach. Well, how are people going to find you? If you're not, we just said, if you're not out there selling yourself, because people aren't buying your coaching, they're buying you. They're buying you. So if they don't know who you are, you got to put yourself, again, that goes back to the marketing, the advertising, it really takes effort. And they taught us that in our coaching session, my coaching certification I went through, that was part of the business portion of it. But man, it's consistent. It's when you go on vacation, you're giving out cards. It's when you're on the airplane and you're just talking to people and people ask you what you do. Because you never know when you're going to meet someone. You just don't know who's sitting next to you. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't know who you're standing in the rental car line, who's behind you, and you pick, and their son drops a toy and you pick it up and you start talking to them. You just don't know. That's constant. That is constant advertising. So that is something I wish I knew. I knew it, but I didn't get into it. I didn't understand it until I got into it. I'm like, okay, wow, it's all the time. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not like you can't live your life, right? Still live your life, still be who you are, be open and authentic, love you, do whatever it is you do. But just know that someone's always paying attention to you. Someone's always watching you. Even if you're in line at Walmart, the person behind you is watching how you treat that cashier, or if you said hi to the Walmart greeter, we all love the Walmart greeter. If you said hi to them, or the Walmart greeter said hi to you and just looked at them like you're above them or beneath them or something.
Yeah.
So just pay attention to that, because again, you don't know who's behind you. Don't judge a book by its cover. That's a huge, huge key. Just because you see someone with a t-shirt and jeans on doesn't mean that they won't ever be a client. You don't know that. You don't know that at all.
Well, and I think that it goes back to the self-awareness piece and the identity piece that we were talking about. Are you walking the walk? Like if you're advertising being your best self and helping people get there, how often are you being your best self?
Yep.
And on that note, though,
it's ongoing.
It's totally ongoing. But I do want to put a caveat in that, which is you don't need to be perfect to be a coach.
Please don't.
People want to connect with your humanness as well.
Yes.
And
I am nowhere near perfect. I'm the first to tell you.
So what are some ways that clients have connected with your unique Marla flavor, especially in the sort of corporate environment, right? Because there is like a particular brand that I think executive corporate clients would be more drawn to. So tell me a little bit about that.
I think for me, not to toot my own horn, what you see is what you get. You're going to get the African-American educated woman with locks in her hair that have gray hair, that wears her pink blush eyeshadow and bright red lipstick. This is who you're going to get. And I'm not afraid to be that person. You're not going to get the straight hair, beautiful, makeup. I mean, I'm gorgeous anyway. I'm beautiful, but you're not going to get that image. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get this. Now, can I be professional? Well, professional's in the eye of the beholder. Professional to you may be the straight hair back in a bun. That's not professional to me. Professional to me is how I am now, how I speak to you. Am I treating you with respect? Because you could be professional all day long and get treated like a dog and get talked to like a dog.
Totally.
So where is the professional line at? So I think that for me, people like my authenticity. They like that this is me. I'm real, and I'm open-minded. I'm not judgmental. I don't give a hoot nanny who you're sleeping with, what you're doing, who you worship,
yeah.
Supporting that, and this company dropped this person because they supported the gay rights. So who cares? How can I help you? How can I help you be a better version of you? You want to get from level 2 to level 3? Let's work on that level. I don't care about all that other stuff. Unless if it's affecting you somehow, then let's talk about it, right? But I'm not going to not coach you because you are a sexual certain orientation, or you you identify as something other than she or her or him or they or whatever. You don't identify as anything. I am an out of the box person. And let me tell you something, Kim, it took me a long time to get to that, because I used to not think that way. So again, self-work, the work that I'm asking my clients to do, I do. The work that I'm putting in for myself is what I require of others. I wouldn't ask any of my clients to do anything unless I know I'm doing it. I make lists, I journal, I meditate. Can I get better at all of them? Definitely can. But these are things that I do, though. These are things that I do that I encourage my clients to do. So I think that's what makes me different, is I don't try to fit into your box. I don't.
I love that.
I don't.
Yeah. And I think that this is something that a lot of new coaches get tripped up on is, when you're first starting out, the easiest thing to do if you don't know what you're doing is look to people who have gone before you and sort of paved the way and model that. Great. I highly recommend this, with the caveat that you need to stay true to you, because if you start to fall into that cookie cutter problem, you're going to get burnt out because it's not you. And your soul's going to feel it. You're going to lose the motivation and the passion that you were talking about earlier. Yeah. And so I think the more that you can stay true to your own compass and your own belief systems, the more like aligned your clients who magnetize towards you are going to be. Right. And so, always going back to that self-awareness piece. I want to touch on some of the habits that you mentioned. Sure. We think it's important to walk the walk and talk the talk, or not just talk the talk, I should say. What are some of the most important practices that you have so that you can show up as the best possible coach for your clients?
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Get a pen, get a note, get a journal. Oh, here, let me grab one here. Get a journal and write. I am a journaler. I've been journaling since I was a kid. You have to get those thoughts out. And there's nothing wrong with journaling on our phones, right? We have a phone. I have my notes app has, I don't know, thousands of notes, thousands. But nothing beats.
We got to get you a better notes app.
Exactly, right? Nothing beats picking up the pen or the pencil or whatever you want to use and writing it down. There's been research done on that. Look it up. Cognitively, it's better for the brain. Your 9 studies have been done to show that you are 9 times more likely to get the thing done if you write it down. Like when you go to school, or if you go to a webinar or some type of conference, they tell you to write the notes down because you'll retain it better. So that's like one of my number one habits is journaling. Journaling can ideas come out. That's why my 2 books that I have out are journals. So my first book is a career journal. My second book is a fun, happy brag on yourself journal, because I want people to get into the mindset of loving on themselves and writing. Writing is a beautiful thing. So that's number 1 habit. Number 2 habit is have a hobby, have something to do. Being an entrepreneur and working all the time should not be your life. I coach the whole person. I don't coach the work person. That's why I call myself the work-life harmonizer, because they harmonize together. Yeah. I hate when people say, oh, well, you're at work and I need to leave that stuff at home. Well, the same Kim that lost Scrappy last night is going to be the same Kim that comes into work. How can Kim cut that off? I mean, now is she going to come in? If she comes in there boohoo crying and okay, then that's mean to talk to. That's different. Maybe she needs to go home, but don't say that. Don't say shut that off. You don't know what that person's dealing with. You don't know. You do not know, so it's all about, having perspective. And when you have that perspective of who you are, you'll realize, oh, my job is not my life. It's a piece of my life. My family is not my life. It's a piece of my life. My car is not my life. It's just a piece of my life. Right. So you need to find something that fuels you outside of work. Are you a car enthusiast? Are you, and this is for entrepreneur too, are you a nature enthusiast? Do you like to travel? I'm a cruiser. I've been on 19 cruises with 20 through 25 booked, so I'm a cruiser. That I love to cruise. I cruise solo a lot as well. I'm going on my next cruise in 1 month from now, so what is it you like to do? What did you like? It's like, how do you fill your cup? Because if you're empty, there's no way you can go out and coach somebody. No, because you and I both know coaching is draining. Coaching, we're empaths, right? So we're taking all that in. So if you're not filling your cup constantly, I don't know what to tell you. So you need to be journaling and you need to have a hobby. Those are 2 things I do. Coloring. I color, I journal, I read. I am an avid reader. I have a library of over, 2,000-3,000 books. Oh my gosh. Books. Yeah, I love writing.
Tell us the titles of your books. So we can make sure and have them in the show notes.
Yes, definitely. So my first book is 52 Career Tips, Action Steps to Move You Forward. And it's every single week you get a different career tip. So I give you the tip, I give you the action step, and then there's some lines, a journal, so you can write down exactly what you did for that tip. Then the second book, as I relaunched it in January, is called The Ultimate Brag Book. 100 questions about how awesome you are. And both books are on Amazon. If you just type in my name, Marla J. Albertie, Albertie on Amazon, both books will come up. And the brag book both of my books come from ideas for my coaching clients, from me coaching them. Obviously the first book came because I realized people needed help in their careers. The second book came because women, I would ask, the one thing I do, if you hire me as your coach, I'm telling you now, I'm going to ask you to make a list of all the things you would do. Remove all obstacles, whether that's money, kids, family, children, whatever, job, whatever. Remove all the obstacles and make a list of all the things you want to do. And you'll be surprised at the amount of people that cannot make that list, or they struggle. It's hard to make this list. So I said, you know what? Let me think of a book, because I said people don't brag on themselves enough. We don't give ourselves enough credit. And I'm one of them.
100%.
I'm my own patient. I am my own patient. Everything I do is also for me too. So I have filled out my brag book. So it has fun questions. What are 10 things you love about yourself? What are 10 companies you could run? What are 10 restaurants you love? What are your favorite foods to cook? What are your favorite foods what are foods you don't cook? There's just fun questions that you as a human being would have thought, you know what? I never even thought about these things. Ding, 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 ding. That's the point. That's the point. Yeah. I want you to think about you.
Yeah, exactly. It's working.
Yes.
One of the things that stood out to me from what you just shared is that you are your own patient. I think that this goes back to the conversation we were having earlier about the fact that, like, you do not need to be perfect. You are likely not going to feel ready to coach. Nope. You're always evolving, and often we teach or coach what we most need to learn. So there are so many moments when I'm having a conversation with a client and I'm like, wow, I really needed my own advice today. And the thing is, we still have a hard time as humans listening to our own advice, because the inner critic is often louder, unless you're a narcissist. So I advise people to always have their own coach in their back pocket, or their community, a mastermind.
Coaches have coaches. Coaches have
coaches. Always. So who have been some really pivotal mentors over the past 10 years for you?
Oh, wow. So my current coach now, I have a regular current coach. I have a business coach. I have a writing coach. I have a book coach. I have all the coaches, right? So they've been very pivotal in my life, helping me with things. I've had past life coaches before. The masterminds I've been a part of, Ben Hardy, Darren Hardy, I've been a part of their masterminds. And then also too, you have those folks that you can touch, but then you also have your family, and you also have people you can't touch. Like, example, like Darren Hardy. I'm in his mastermind, but I haven't met Darren Hardy. I haven't shook his hand. I've met, I've talked, I've been in close contact with Ben Hardy because I did an interview with him or whatever. But there are some folks that you may not ever meet. Oprah. I'm not going to meet Oprah, but they can still have exactly. They can still have some type of influence in your life, and you have to allow that influence. You have to be open. I heard this phrase a long time ago. Sometimes you got to chew the meat, spit out the bones. Everybody's not going to say everything you agree to, but sometimes you listen to one thing, and that they say one thing that you're like, oh, you know what? That was my nugget. That was it. And you can spit out the rest of the stuff. You don't have to listen to the rest of it. You can spit it out.
Yeah.
So I've had tons and tons and tons of mentors and people that, even friends, I'll say this. I would be nothing without my friends and and family. And I say that because I have friends that, believe in what Darren Hardy calls BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals. I come up with a new idea every 15 minutes, and my friends have to, okay, Marla, let's bring it in. And they do that. That just bring me in, but I come up with a different idea all the time, because that's just my entrepreneurial brain. And that's just how my brain is. And, but I say, find your tribe, and that doesn't have to be, your tribe may not always be family. Yeah. And I say that to say, just find who that is, so that your tribe may be friends. It may be family, maybe blood family. It may not even be your spouse sometimes. Sometimes I've talked to entrepreneurs where it took a while for the spouse to get on board. That's okay. I'm not saying divorce your spouse for that, but it's okay. You just got to find your tribe, and you'll be amazed that your tribe is not a lot of the times the people who are closest to you. Sometimes your tribe are people that you meet at a conference. I've met so many friends, people that I'm still in contact with at a conference. One person that I met at a conference, I just recently asked her to serve on my advisory board for my nonprofit. I've only seen her twice in my life, again, that's why you got to be open to meeting people. And because you'll never know.
And putting yourself out there.
Yeah, exactly. Putting yourself out there. I just had someone contribute to my nonprofit a huge amount, a nice size amount of money. And I would have never expected that. And this is someone I haven't talked to in like 15 years.
Yeah, you never know where the connections will come from or where they will lead to.
You don't know.
Yeah.
When we said that's been an ongoing theme throughout this whole conversation is you just don't know. So be open, but find your tribe. Yeah. So I also, too, one thing I'll say this, I also find these masterminds and tribes and Facebook groups of people who are doing better than me. Right. Mm-hmm. So I'm in one Facebook group is 6, 7, 8 figure people. I'm not making 7 or 8 figures, yes. So let me go talk to these folks, so
put yourself around the people that you want to be emulating.
Totally. If you're the one, the TD Jake said that, if you're the smartest one in the room, many people said it actually, if you're the smartest one in the room, get out. You're in the wrong damn room.
I love it. Marla, if you could leave all of our aspiring coaches with one piece of advice or wisdom or encouragement, what would it be?
I'm going to give you 2 things. I'm going to give you a quote that one of my coaches told me, and I still say it to this day. I say it on every podcast. Whatever you believe, you're 100% correct. So whatever you believe about yourself, you're right. So if you believe you're not going to do it, you're right. If you believe you are going to do it, you're right. If you believe the sky is purple, you're right. No one's going to argue with you. At least no one with common sense should, right? So with that being said, whatever you believe about yourself, I always tell my clients, I refuse to believe in this more than you do. I don't like when people get on stage at award shows. I'm so glad they believe in me more than me. No. You need to believe in yourself in order for me to believe in you. I'm not going to put in the work behind something that you don't have a passion in, that you don't believe in. You have to be your biggest cheerleader in order for others to jump on board. Why do you think the struggle is in the beginning? Like Kevin Hart said, it's an overnight, success is a 10-year overnight thing, right? Why do you think your circle is so, small? Because the world is waiting to see you shine. No one wants to help you in the struggle, right? Yeah. You during that struggle period, while they're waiting for you to shine, like right now, she left her job, she's, but when they see me on CNN or see me on Oprah or somewhere, then they'll know me, right? Who's going to believe in you in that time frame? You got to believe in you. And then find that small circle of folks who's going to help you along with that. So that's the piece of advice I believe I'll leave with you is please, whatever you believe, you're 100% correct. Your mind is everything. Read Dr. Carol Dweck's book. And I promise you, she's not paying me for this because I promote her book on almost every podcast. But Dr. Carol Dweck, Mindset. You either have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. Please have a growth mindset. Have a growth mindset.
Great advice. So Marla, where can people follow you, get more information from you? What's the best channel for us to send them to?
Yes, please. We are excited to launch our my nonprofit it'll be 1 year old tomorrow. So that's ioforteens.org, the letter IOFORTEENS.org. Please go out to our website there, follow us, donate, help us to teach teenagers the science of human behavior in the workplace. For me, I'm on LinkedIn, Marla J. Albertie. Just type in the name. I'm the only one out there. Now I have a cousin that has a close name, but I'm Marla, Marla. On Instagram, I'm T Speaks Group. Follow me out there. I'm on Facebook, Truth Speaks Coaching, or Truth Speaks Group on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on all the platforms. Go out to my YouTube, Truth Speaks Group. I'm out there. Follow me. Or you can go to the website too. So the business is Truth Speaks Group, but I just kept the website the same. So truthspeakscoaching.com. Truthspeakscoaching.com is the actual website. Go out there, sign up for my email list. If you sign up for the email list, you'll get a free Harmony book. So some people give you like a free worksheet. This is a Harmony work life book. Honey, get your life together. Let's harmonize your life. Okay. It's free. Sign up.
Harmonize your life and work. I love it. Yes. Well, Marla, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your wisdom and your energy. We appreciate you. And, anyone who is curious about executive coaching and wants to, have a deeper understanding of how to harmonize your life and work, whether it's for yourself or for your clients, go check out Marla's work.
Yes,
She's
please.
a firecracker and
Check
she's
me out.
doing it. All right, Marla, thank you so much.
Keep doing it. Thank you so much. It's been amazing, Kim. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much to Marla for coming on today's show. And thank you, listeners. If you are enjoying these episodes, do me a favor, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button on your podcast app of choice. And if you want to get access to all the resources that we talked about today, which was quite a few, Marla has so many incredible books that she referenced. Ben Hardy was one of the authors that comes to mind. So go ahead and check out the show notes at theprofitablecoach.com/010. And if you want to get even more free content, head on over and grab our free training at theprofitablecoach.com/freebie. I guarantee this will help you if you are still struggling to get clients. So again, I thank you guys so much for listening, and I will catch you on the next episode.